artery is divided into two terminal branches. Which one, Nabil?
Brachial artery divided into two terminal branches.
Спасибо. Да, Nabil.
Radial
Radial artery and
Medial
ulnar
artery.
artery. Well, radial artery passes on the lateral side, ulnar on the ulnar side. No, and the green color is arteria, which passes here on the medial side, is arteria ulnaris. It passes in the sulcus ulnaris on the forearm. Arteria radialis, it goes on the radial side here, and it is arteria radialis. Arteria radialis. Two arteries passes on the ventral surface of the forearm. But arteria ulnaris, just here, just at the beginning, gives one branch, arteria interossea communis, later I will draw you the schema, which is divided into two branches, arteria interossea anterior, which passes anteriorly on the forearm, and interossea posterior, which is posterior. So arteria interossea anterior, which is here, and interossea posterior. When these three arteries come very close to the radiocarpal joint, they send branches. Arteria interossea anterior send branch to this region. Then arteria ulnaris send branch here, and arteria radialis also send branches. All these branches have same name. They are called ramus carpalis palmaris. And all branches unite together on the ventral surface of the radiocarpal joint, and they form network of capillaries, which is called rete carpalis palmaris, which is necessary for supply blood to the radiocarpal joint. Did you understand this? Yes. After sending branch ramus carpalis palmaris, arteria interossea anterior pierces interosseous membrane, which is between two bones, and goes on the dorsal surface, very close to the interossea posterior. Arteria ulnaris continues on the palmar surface of the hand, like that. Arteria radialis, it goes to the dorsal surface, it turns to the lateral side. Then, if you remember, this depression is called anatomical snooze box, and this artery also passes in this anatomical snooze box, and then it goes to the first interosseous space, which is between first and second metacarpal bones. When arteria radialis appear on the dorsal surface, it gives branch which goes here on the dorsal side of the radiocarpal joint. Same, arteria ulnaris, after giving ramus carpalis palmaris, it also gives branch which goes on the dorsal side, which is called ramus carpalis dorsalis. And these two branches unite together here to form second network, which is called rete carpalis dorsalis. This one, rete carpalis palmaris, rete carpalis dorsalis. And two arteries, arteria interossea posterior, also directly goes to this network, to this rete, and participate in its formation. Same like arteria interossea anterior, also goes here and forms this network. That's why this rete carpalis dorsalis is formed by four arteries, interossea posterior, interossea anterior, ramus carpalis dorsalis from radialis and from ulnaris. But rete carpalis palmaris is formed by three branches, from interossea anterior, radialis and ulnaris. Well, what happens then? Rete carpalis dorsalis gives branches which are now already mixed, because all arteries unite together, and these branches go through the interosseous spaces 1, 2, 3, except fourth artery. Fourth artery goes medially from fifth carpal bone, metacarpal bone, sorry. These arteries are called arteria digitalis dorsalis, arteria digitalis dorsalis, and go up to the metacarpophalangeal joints, where arteries divide into two, for this finger and for this finger. And these arteries, which are already on the fingers, are called arteria digitalis dorsalis.
Dorsalis.
This one arteria metacarpia dorsalis, this arteria digitalis dorsalis. Same artery. This also same. But as you understand, this fourth arteria metacarpalis dorsalis does not divide and just continues on the medial side of the little finger. Now you can see that all the fingers on the dorsal side receive two arteries, except the thumb and except the radial side of the index finger. How these fingers are supplied? Arteria radialis, which is very close to these fingers, when it enters here, first interosseous space, it gives branch, this one, and this branch is called arteria metacarpia dorsalis prima. Prima means first. So first metacarpal dorsal artery, which then is divided into three types, three branches. Arteria digitalis dorsalis for the index finger and for both sides of the thumb. Understood? Well, that's why index finger receive same arteries, arteria digitalis dorsalis, but one start from the reta carpalis dorsalis, but another from arteria radialis. Arteria radialis proper pierces musculus adductor pollicis, muscle which adducts the thumb, and appear here on the palmar surface. That's why you can follow this artery. It goes on the palmar surface, anterior surface, then turns around the thumb, pierces, and again appear here. It makes this cycle. Arteria ulnaris, come back to this artery, it descends along the hypotenar muscles, descend and slightly deviates to the lateral side like that. And then it anastomoses with what? Arteria radialis, come back to this artery, before going to the dorsal side, it sends superficial branch on the hand. It is called arteria or ramus palmaris superficialis, which passes along the thenar muscle and deviates to the medial side and unites with arteria ulnaris. And now I got an arc, which is situated on the palmar surface of the hand. It is called arcus palmaris superficialis. Arteria radialis. This artery, because it pierces, it comes from the dorsal side. Now on the palmar surface, it remains deeply and begin to deviate to the medial side. I am drawing this artery by dotted line because it lies deeper, to recognize where is superficial, where is deep. And what happened with this artery then? When arteria ulnaris passes on the hypotenar group of muscles, it sends a branch which also goes deeper. It is called ramus palmaris profundus, which goes towards the arteria radialis and unites with them. And finally, I got second arc, which is called arcus palmaris profundus. And what a difference between these arches. Arcus palmaris superficialis, it is formed mainly by arteria ulnaris and by ramus palmaris superficialis from arteria radialis. Arcus palmaris profundus is formed mainly by arteria radialis and ramus palmaris profundus from ulnar artery. And arcus palmaris superficialis lies distally than arcus palmaris profundus. It is more superior, more proximal. Understood this? Yes. Which branches start from arcus palmaris superficialis? From arcus palmaris superficialis, we can draw four branches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same like this one. They pass in the interosseous spaces. These arteries, four arteries, are called arteria digitalis palmaris communis. Common arteries for fingers on the palmar surface. Digitalis palmaris communis, which also goes down and at the